Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Going to talk about condo rentals, apartment rentals, and real estate here in the Philippines. And this is kind of an introductory video. I've been doing this for, 7 years? And there you go. Sign on a post. That's one way to find your cheaper places. No advance deposit required. And those kind of places will not make it on to the online sites probably. Anyway, I'm walking from the Mango Square area, and this is Horizon 101, very tall, 52, 55-story building just to the left of me. I didn't get it in the shot. Tallest building, I believe, still outside of Metro Manila condominium. I have done dozens and dozens and dozens of videos about real estate, cost of living, condo tours, some housing developments, not just here in Cebu, but some over on Bohol, a little bit on Iloilo City. I've been to Bacolod City, do travel videos. So if you're new to the channel, take a minute, subscribe to the channel. About 70% of my viewers are not subscribed. Hit the notification bell. I put 2 to 3 videos out every week. So really appreciate that, you interacting with the channel as well. So I'm going to give you an overview. I've been doing a lot of research, and I will put up, in the coming week, I'll put up another video getting into more of the details about the real estate market here, not just here in Cebu City, but a lot of the information that I find is about Manila metropolitan area. And I'll talk about some of the other areas as well, just what I've been able to glean. New supermarket over there, Pure Gold. It used to be called Fuda. They went out of business, and Pure Gold has taken over. I have not been in there yet. Anyway, in general terms, unless you've been hiding in a cave for the last 3 years, you understand that the world has gone through 2.5+ years of travel restrictions, lockdowns, destroyed economies, destroyed the tourism industry, destroyed the airline industry, the hospitality industry. Bamboozers Bar, they're not open. They've somebody in there cleaning, I think. Anyway, the Philippines, like so many economies, nations, are still in recovery mode, and probably going to take another long year. We're going out of the high season. Here, the high season is probably October, about October into up to about May. May is the hottest month of the year generally here in the Philippines, and definitely is. I'm making this video in May, and it is hotter and more humid and little breeze, so it's a bit stifling walking out there, but I can handle it. There are many factors affecting the real estate market, rental market, as well as sales market, resale, and a lot of it has to do with vacancy rates. Vacancy rates, as I go in and I ask various places, and most places have a high vacancy rate, a lot of empty units. When the lockdowns occurred in March of 2020, millions of people left the Philippines. Tourists and expats, business owners, they went back to Korea, back to their Western countries, Japan, China, wherever. And those people are starting to come back. Now, I read an article the other day. More Japanese would be here, but there's a lack of flights. So the airlines have been devastated. They laid off, early retired a lot of pilots, mechanics, other workers, and they're having a difficult time replacing them fast enough, getting their planes and flights back into the air. So it could be the case too. I've heard of a number of expats telling me, yeah, they had a flight, but it was canceled. They were moved to a different flight. Maybe there was only two half full flights, and they put them. They combined, made one flight, made a full flight. The airline makes more money that way, obviously. But I'm finding rental prices all over the board here in this city, and I believe in other cities as well. Several factors, and I'll get more involved in that in the next video that I do about real estate, probably this coming week. But you have did the owner buy pre-selling, so their cost of that unit is low, or did they buy at the peak of the real estate market, and so therefore they have to ask for more rent in order to make any money, return on investment. That is one factor. If a lot of these people, their units have been sitting vacant for 3 years and they haven't, I know a couple people have told me, yeah, the people were just begging me to rent the place because it's been sitting empty for 3 years, and they want to start recouping some of that. So I'm finding two things. I'm finding people who will offer a relatively low price because they know what the competition is, and they're hoping to attract somebody. And I'm also seeing some people marketing their rent even higher than pre-pandemic, and they're again probably trying to recoup what they've lost over 3 years, trying to rent something that maybe would have been 30,000 before the pandemic, 35. They're asking 40,000, 45,000. Like this guy, he's trying to recoup the money that he lost during the pandemic. And like I've stated in a number of videos, it's not all about the money. It's not all about the cost of living. There's three or more groups of people, foreigners who come here. There are wealthy people who the cost is not as important as the location and the amenities and a comfortable, secure place to live. And they'll pay 50, 60, 70, 100,000 or more for a place that they're comfortable with. There's that middle group of people, which I belong to, where it would be challenging to live in our own country, especially with the present the inflation here over the last few years, and it would be very challenging to live there. But we can live comfortably here if we're careful. If we're careful, and you can quickly overspend your budget if you're not careful. Now the experts in the real estate industry, the economists, say that the average person, you should use 25-30% of your take-home income for rent or housing costs, purchase costs, that type of thing. Got a hostel there. And the fact of the matter is, many people in the U.S. are probably spending half of their take-home money on such things. So keep that in mind. It's up to you. How much will it cost you here? It's up to you to know what your guaranteed or almost guaranteed income is. Hopefully you've got a good chunk of savings for emergencies, and to stay within those bounds, to find rent, food, and everything else that you need within your budget. It's very easy. A lot of needs here, not just yours, but people that you will meet. And many of us feel that we should help out, but you have to know what your limits are. The factors affecting the real estate market here in Cebu City versus different parts of Manila. Manila is a huge metropolitan area, and various cities within the metropolitan area have various factors. They've got POGOs, Philippine Offshore. Philippine Offshore Gaming Organizations, I think they're called. Primarily Chinese online gaming type things. And those people, tens of thousands of them, take up office space and they take up residential space. Well, the government here and the Chinese government doesn't like that gambling going on, and there's been a push even to outlaw that sort of thing. So anyway, there's a lot of POGOs that have been shut down, and therefore a lot of those people have been sent back to China or someplace out of the country, and so there's vacancies there. We've got some of that here in Cebu City, probably some in Iloilo, Bacolod, maybe Davao, a few other cities, but the majority of it seems to be in metropolitan Manila. So that's tens of thousands of units that are not being rented, whether it's office space or residential space. We've got other factors here. The fact that there again, the tens of thousands, millions of people went back to their country during the pandemic, during the lockdowns, and a big percentage of those people have not returned.
Alto residence.
There's a new, I guess it's an apartment, I believe, and I'll show you a little video. I went in there and took a little video. I think 10,000, 10 or 12,000 a month for 3 bunks in a room, basically. The question arose, first place, not sure what happened to my camera here, just for a brief moment, sped up. When I first came here in 2015, the first place I lived, the architect managed the condominium building that I lived in, and I asked him, I saw all the building, I said, do you think that they're overbuilding? And he said, well, that's a conversation that is people are talking about. And but it remained high demand, low vacancy rates up until the government lockdowns, travel bans. And now still there's high vacancy rates so many places. This is across the street. I'm going into Cebu Business Park, big business park area owned by Ayala. Solanea, I think they've got 4 or 5, 6 towers, condominium towers in here, right across the street from the big Ayala Mall. Some of you have stayed in one of those towers. Like I say, I will get in my video here in the coming week, I will get more into the details and the various factors that are affecting real estate. It comes down to how hard do you want to work, how much research and looking do you want to spend, time, money, effort, to search out the place that you want to stay in. Building over there, Lucima, I've done a video at the it's a new high rise just across the street from Rustin's and Ayala Mall. Done a video there, and so many of these different condominiums. And you can find most places, it's kind of a cash society. They either want cash or they want post-dated checks. And generally you need the first month's rent and 2 months deposit. So if it's 30,000, your rent's 30,000 a month, for instance, you'll need 90,000 cash to move in. And I was going to rent one place, but they required post-dated checks for a year. And I don't have a bank account here, and had not planned on setting one up just for that purpose, so I decided not to move in there. Place over there, the tall building right in the center, that is Park Point, I believe is the name of that. And then the one over to the left, that's Alcoves. I've done a video in both of those too. Very, very nice buildings, condo units, larger condo units available. Anyway, I will get more into the details and the factors in the coming week about some of this. That's Ayala Mall across the street. So anyway, see you next time.